Tina here with My Scrappy Ideas, and today I'm back with a stamp set that's a two-step stamp set, and I get asked a lot of exactly how to work with these, and so I thought I'd share today, since March stamp of the month is this beautiful rose stamp. That's a two-stamp process. It's called Floral Happiness. Now you can only get this stamp set in the month of March. You can purchase it for $17.95, or with your $50 order you can get it for only $5. So it's a fantastic bargain. It's a gorgeous stamp set, and so I'm going to show you how to do the two-step stamping, and then I'm going to show you some advanced ways to get a little bit different effects out of the stamp set. And then we'll put together a quick little card, and I'll show you how to use some scraps. Today we're going to use the Floral Happiness, and I already have them on my blocks. But one quick tip that I have for you: a lot of people are really just perfectionist and that they want it lined up exactly on top of it, and they're not quite sure when they get them on here. They see, you know, these blobs, and they're like, well, what goes where? So if you're one of those that it's really going to bother you, you can lay your block on top of your carrier sheet. It actually works this way. And then line your stamp up on top of it, and actually have it upside down. Lay your stamp set right on top of it, because these are printed on here and they're laying on here exactly in a line. So I've done the first one, and then lay this block here and pick up your stamp set and line it up. Then you know that this is the top of your block, and you're going to stamp the first one and then the second one, and they're going to line up perfectly. Hopefully that made sense. I'm going to show you the first way, and here's a couple that I've done. Hopefully they're not too tiny. I've done a pink and a yellow, and I'm going to work with the pink today because it's kind of hard to see the yellow being stamped. So I have blush and cotton candy. So that would be my first tip, is to have two coordinating stamp inks that are just, you know, a light value and a little bit darker value. You don't want too far away on the spectrum, but just enough to highlight. So I'm going to use the solid stamp set with my lighter color foam sheet here, and then my white cardstock that I'm working with. Okay. And then you're just going to press. Then you're going to take top stamp, the one with the detail, and you're going to ink it up with the cotton candy. And remember that we already lined the roses up on the block, so we don't even really have to think about it. It's just going to line right up on top. And the great thing about our stamps from Close to My Heart is they're clear, and we have clear blocks so you can see right through them to line those up. And then there's your rose. So that's the first way that you can do it. Now let me show you one other way where you can get just a little bit more of a watercolor effect. You can see this is really bright. It will actually dry a little bit lighter. And then if you want more of a watercolor effect like this, let me show you how to do it. So we're going to go back to our solid stamp set, and we're going to ink it up, and then we're going to do what's second generation stamping. So I've inked it. I'm going to put it over here on my scrap paper and stamp it. And actually I'm going to do that again because I had a piece that didn't get inked. So you're going to come over here, press, then come to what you're going to be using and stamp again. So you're going to get a lighter value than what the blush is by itself. Okay, we're going to load it in our blush. This is the detail stamp. And then this is called Rock and Roll. So you're going to lay the stamp set on the cotton candy, and we're just going to rock the outside edge of the stamp around. So we're not pushing it all the way into the cotton candy, we're just getting the edges. Okay, loaded. Then we're going to go and we're going to stamp right over the top like we did before. And you'll see what a different effect. That's a lot softer and a lot more watercolor effect. So I'm going to actually have the bigger one loaded, and I'm going to do it because that's the one that I'm going to use on the card that I'm going to show you. Okay, so I'm actually going to do two of these. One of them I'm going to do full strength like we did the first, and then this one I'm going to do second generation. So I'm actually going to stamp this one twice on here. Okay, and since this is a lot bigger stamp, you have to really look through there and make sure that you've got ink in the center. Okay, so here's my first one. Okay, now for the detail. Remember, we're going to stamp in blush and rock in our cotton candy. Okay, so that was for that one. This one, we're going to do full strength cotton candy. Now I have my flowers with the full strength and then the second generation and the rocking stamp, so you can see the difference in the two. And I've cut them out and left a little bit of a border. So hopefully that shows you that these aren't that intimidating. They're really easy to work with and they're really stunning when you're finished. Now let me show you a quick trick. When I finish my layouts, I always have just strips and scraps of paper. So I always take these and just trim them up into squares and rectangles, and then pull out some cards and just arrange them until I have come up with something that's pleasing. So this is a card that I put together with just my scraps and some of the zip strips. And then I'm going to take one of my flowers and I'm just going to adhere it to the front. And I have a sentiment that I'm going to use that's from this stamp set. There's actually several. It says happiness is. It says walking hand in hand, having you as a friend, being with you, found at home, found in the journey. So I have happiness is that I'm going to stamp on the front. And then I have having you as a friend that I'm going to put inside for the sentiment. Okay, so I have my rose and I've already put my pop dots on here. And I'm just going to stick that on the front. And there you go. Quick, simple card made from your scraps and the new March stamp of the month with some fun new techniques that I hope you'll try. Thanks for joining me, and if you'd like to order your own stamp of the month, you can go to myscrappyideas.ctmh.com and place an order. Always be sure to click on the link to join a party, and this month we have a March mystery hostess, so if you'll click and join on that party, I'll be choosing a hostess at the end of the month to win all of the hostess rewards earned. Thanks a lot.